What's up YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how to file your taxes as a recruiter. All right, so first things first, every single one of you watching this, I hope that you're in our Facebook group. Link in description to Recruiter Empire. There's 10,000 recruiters in there. Definitely the place to be if you're coming up in recruiting and staffing. All right, so I think it goes without saying, but I definitely want to throw out a disclaimer here that I am not a tax professional and or any sort of legal professional. With that being said, do not take any of this as official advice, simply just recommendations. All right, so please watch this video all the way until the end because I'm gonna drop some serious gems in here that will ultimately save you guys some money, hopefully help you tax plan better and structure things out so that you can basically know exactly how to play the tax game the right way. All right, so check it out. You really need to have a good CPA, an accountant, an enrolled agent. You need to have a good tax person, bottom line. I highly recommend that you do not, as a business owner, recruiting agency, recruiter, do not go to H&R Block, Liberty Tax, go to any of those retail tax institutions where they punch in some numbers into a computer system and just spit out a tax bill. Do not do that. You are so much better off paying anywhere from $500 to $2,000, having someone that knows their stuff and can do it right and can ultimately maybe save you $10,000 or more in deductions once we get into that. All right, so a little tip on how you would find a good tax professional that can do your taxes. Referrals. Always use referrals. Find someone in your network that is doing something big, they're making big revenue, they are a business owner, and use their accountant, use their tax person, right? If you already know that that specific person is getting success by using that accountant, use the same accountant. This is exactly how I found my tax person, and I've been using him for the past 4 years. Will use him for the rest of my life pretty much because he knows my stuff inside and out, and it's just that simple. All right, so I know taxes as a business seem really complex and daunting, but once you get the lay of the land, it's not really that difficult. There are two specific things that you definitely should remember right as of now. So all of your clients are going to issue you a 1099 form. And that form is basically going to say everything that they've paid you for the year of 2021, right? We're filming this in 2022. I'm talking about you filing your taxes for the previous year, which is 2021. So they're all going to give you 1099 forms. The second thing you need to remember is you would have had to have given them a W-9 form. That's a really simple form that you find on the internet. Just Google it, fill it out. They should all have one on file when they invoice anyways, so they should already have that done. So they get W-9s, you get 1099s from them. These are the documents that you're going to need to present when you file your taxes with your tax pro. So at the end of the day, you're going to fall into whatever tax bracket you fall into, but let's just use some stupid math here. And let's say that you made about $100,000. You're going to fall into the 24% tax bracket. So that means you're going to pay 24% of your gross revenue. Also, I'm not going to talk about state income tax here because it's different in every single state and that would just be super complicated. So just know that you're also going to have to pay state income tax unless you live somewhere cool like Washington where we don't have state income tax. All right, so again, using that stupid math, let's just say that you made $100,000 on the dot last year in 2021. That means you fall into the 24% tax bracket. That would mean roughly, don't quote me on this because there's other factors that go into it, but that means that you would owe $24,000 in taxes to Uncle Sam. All right, so let's talk about that $24,000 tax bill because at the end of the day, when you do things right, you might not actually have to pay that tax bill. Of course, allow me to elaborate. So the biggest thing I can say about taxes is that it's not at all about how much you make. It's all about how much you keep. So naturally, what's the solution on how much we can keep? Deductions. All right, so deductions are your ultimate saving grace when it comes to bringing your tax bill way, way, way down, right? So This is why it's super, super important to have a professional tax person that really knows their stuff in your corner when you're filing your taxes. Now, hopefully throughout the entire year of 2021, you kept really, really good records of all the itemized things that you can deduct that you use for business when it comes tax time so that you can actually lower that tax bill. And we'll talk more about that now. If you're new to this game or if you're just getting a refresher, deductions are the things that you use for business. And ultimately, when you use or reinvest any money into your business, those are deductions. Those come off of your tax bill. So let's say you owe $24,000. Basically, your deductions count against that amount. So that amount goes down, down, down. So we want to have as many deductions as possible that are actually valid deductions, of course, and lower that tax bill from $24,000 maybe to $10,000. All right, so you're probably asking yourself right now, what are my tax deductions? Like, what counts? Well, here's the deal. Anything that you've used for business or anything that you've reinvested into your business, any money that you put into the business to run it, those are all tax deductions. And I'll get into some of those as examples, but don't play any games here. They absolutely need to be used for business. The IRS does not play. Now, I'm absolutely not going to name the entire list of things you can deduct for business, but here's just a few examples, okay? One prime example would be your home office credit. So basically how that works is you take the square footage of your home office and proportional to the entire area or space that you live in, your apartment, house, whatever, it's basically a percentage of that space based upon the percentage of the entire area, and there's a deduction and a calculation made to get you a home office tax credit. Another way easier tax deduction is, let's say you bought a laptop for business use only, and the cost of the laptop is like $3,000. That becomes a deduction. Other things like your cell phone, your printer, your Indeed advertising, your LinkedIn subscription, I could go on and on and on. All of these things for business use specifically become deductions that will count against your tax bill and will lower that tax bill, hopefully all the way down to zero, but as close as we can get. Literally look at every single thing you've spent in 2021 on business, create a Google sheet, create a Google Doc, whatever, put everything on there, calculate the amount. If it's a yearly subscription for whatever, put that in there. If it's a simple item like a laptop or a new cell phone that's only for business use, put that on the document. Be meticulous about this. I personally am obsessive compulsive. So I have an absolutely meticulous list that I keep track of every single day, and every single item or every service that I use for business, I instantly notate and make sure it's on my tax list. Because trust me, when you go to file your taxes, every little single thing adds up. So you want every item on there. It doesn't matter if it's a $4 parking charge when you went to go visit a client. Add that into your tax list. So when you go to actually file your taxes, you're obviously going to bring your 1099s, which is all of your receivables, right? Your income that you made, the revenue you generated, but you're also going to want to bring that document you created of all your taxed deductions, right? Those itemized things that you used for business that are going to come off of that tax bill. Quick side note here, all your tax deductions are not dollar for dollar, meaning if you have a $10,000 tax bill and you bought a $3,000 laptop, that does not mean your tax bill will go down by $3,000. It's a percentage of that laptop purchase. It's not the dollar for dollar amount. The same thing goes for advertising, LinkedIn subscription, all those things, right? They're not dollar for dollar. They are a percentage of the entire revenue of the tax liability. So at the end of the day, that's why you need a tax professional going over your numbers to make sure everything's accurate, to make sure everything's good, so that you're getting the best tax final bill that you can get. Now, here's what's really cool. If you pay someone wages, Wages are dollar for dollar deductions. So for instance, if you made $100,000 in 2021 and you fall into the 24% tax bracket and you paid someone, a VA or whatever, $24,000, those are wages. Wages being dollar for dollar, that means they 100% wipe off. If you paid at least $24,000 out in wages, that wipes right off your taxes. So again, that can be a 1099 employee, that can be a W-2, that can be basically anyone that works for you that provides services or anything like that if you pay them wages. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this at all, but there are some massive things that you can do when it comes to filing your taxes when you're like a multi six-figure or seven-figure earner, such as checking out Section 179 with vehicles, checking out deducting life insurance policies, checking out SEP IRAs, self-employment pensions, basically an IRA that you set up for yourself. So a lot of things involved in the tax code. You just got to learn, study, and play the game. Here's the most important thing that I'll add to this video. Tax planning starts right now. So for 2022, you want to project your revenue, what you're going to be making, so that you can plan and prep for the deductions and investments that you want to make in your business now. Not in November, not in December, at the last minute, the 11th hour. You don't want to be doing that then. You want to be fully prepared, knowing what you're going to be investing in for your business now, so that you can be ready and your tax bill can be on point when it comes to filing taxes. So like I said before, it has nothing to do with how much money you actually make. It's all about how much money you can keep. So therefore, I hope you make a ton of money in 2022. And I also hope you keep a bunch of that money in 2022. Hey, so if this video was valuable to you, please make sure that you tap that like button, join our Facebook group, link in description, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next time.